What's up, ladies, gents, and everyone in between? Shoe Booty Sports coming at you Tuesday night. Per the usual, I'm Graham Powell on this screen. That's Bradley Brown on the other. Say what's up, Brad.
Hola.
Okay. Are you wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
No.
I don't know how I got Ola out of Hawaiian. I was thinking aloha. I don't know. Okay, yeah, that's all right. It's been that kind of day. I'm just gonna chalk it up to that, or just dumbassery, whatever, whichever one. Pick, probably the
I know
latter.
what mine usually is. So,
Yeah, I'm going to go with the latter. I'll just save everyone the trouble of having to pick there. Anyway, before we get going, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Shoe Booty Sports, is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice, screenshot your results as proof of completion, submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com. Under the submit results section, once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your reward will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section while you're there for t shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series. And you can find us, Shoe Woody Sports, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. What do we want to start with? We had a few things go on over the weekend, a few things that happened today, even.
yeah.
In fact, just to go, I guess we could lead off with that. Well, let's start with last night's Monday Night Football game, by the way. We were, what, 5 of 6 on our playoff picks? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Except for the Bills.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's
glad the
that's the
Bills proved me wrong.
that's
So,
the one that we whiffed on. Uh, Jacksonville went up late. Bills went up even later. To end
no.
things. I wasn't surprised by the outcome of that. I felt good about Jacksonville's chances. I liked the team they had, and they show. I mean, it looked good at times in that game,
Yep.
even especially at the end. Um, but that Bills defender, that Bills DB, made a great play to pick off Trevor Lawrence to end the game. Like it was a good throw. It was just a better defensive play. So it really wasn't even anything Trevor Lawrence did. But good for Josh Allen. Good for the Bills. Bills moving on as a 6 seed. It's still kind of weird to say, but
Yeah.
last night, you and I both had the Texans beating the Steelers, sending Aaron Rodgers and well now Tomlin packing. Um, it was a close game. It was a boring game from an offensive standpoint. If you like defense, then it's right up your alley. Uh, you had talked about bless you. You had talked about the Texans defense being really scary good, and they just looked nasty last night.
Yes. Too bad that their offense also looked nasty, just not in the same reference. And it really sucks that Collins, I'm pretty sure he's out for the remainder of the playoffs, right? Didn't he injure his knee or something? So
Yeah,
that's
I
their
think
top
he's done.
receiver. That's their top receiver going down. Yeah, their defense is going to have to play lights out and get a couple of defensive scores if they're going to continue their way to the Super Bowl. Um, Great defense, but I think their offense just took one too many licks to close out the season. So we'll see. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'd
Stroud
probably
made
bet against
just
them.
enough. Stroud made just enough plays down the stretch to allow the Texans to separate themselves. And but yeah, that defense is scary good. That's a really good defense. I know Seattle's is really good, but the Texans defense just look the eye test. As good as anybody in the league,
Yeah.
if not the best. That pass rush is scary good.
And there for
Just
what? Almost three quarters of the Steelers defense is holding their own as well. So there's
yeah,
some hard hits going on in that game.
yeah. Like that's the thing. It just people want to complain about Aaron Rodgers. You look at like a Steelers fan as he was walking into as Rodgers was walking into the tunnel or into the locker room area. Guy goes, Aaron, he's like, Aaron, please retire. um, but I don't know. It's hard to play quarterback when you're on your back every play, or getting hit every.
Yes. And hey, hats off to Aaron, man. He showed his wheels, even at what, 43 or
42.
however old, 42. He showed he can still get away from some trouble when needed. But it just wasn't enough. I think DK after that drop, he yeah, he was non-existent pretty much for the rest of the game. So yeah,
Well,
we seen it coming. Not surprised.
Aaron Rodgers isn't what he was. He can still play quarterback in this league, just not at the level that we're accustomed to him playing. Um, he can still elude some defenders, but he can't do it like he used to. He used to be masterful maneuvering around the pocket and making throws on the run. He's not that guy anymore. Even the pick he had at the end of the game, that's uncharacteristic of him. But at the same time, you're losing. You're just trying to make something happen, and you've been getting your ass beat the whole damn game,
Oh yeah.
and that's going
Well,
to affect you eventually.
well, I will say this: like after they recovered the fumble and returned it for a touchdown, right, to go up by what 10 points or two possession game or something like that.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
yeah, because they were up by 4, and yeah, and they were going to go up by 11.
Yeah.
I will say this: I had the thought, and I was like, all right, we're about to see Aaron come through. Here he goes. He's going to turn the switch and let her loose. And it just didn't happen. I was just hopeful that he proved me wrong this season. I was hopeful I was going to get to see some flashes of the old Aaron. Um, just didn't get to see it.
You got to see that at times this season, just not against that defense.
Just
Uh,
not again. Yeah, not last night.
no, when they went up, when they scored on that fumble recovery, I was like, it's over because he hadn't done anything all game. He wasn't.
99%. Yeah, 99% of me said it's over, but there's still that small little bit. It's like, okay, maybe we might be about to witness something.
And that's
But
the
no.
thing. Other than Metcalf, Steelers receiving core is non-existent. It's not a good receiving core. There's a reason
No.
that wasn't his first choice. Like he wanted to go play for the Vikings for a reason. Um, yeah, just offensively, that team's just not there.
Sure, the Vikings feel really smart about passing on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, well, it's what it is. There, I had said I would go get Aaron Rodgers if I'm Minnesota. That's a sure thing because you don't know what you're going to get with JJ McCarthy, and turns out it was the guy. He
It's a
hasn't had
turd
a good.
sandwich.
Yeah, he was not good. It's possible he could get better. It is possible. Um,
Yeah,
but if
yeah,
you
it's
want to win,
possible.
but if you want to win now, go get a Hall of Famer, like a guy that
Yeah.
can spin it and make good decisions with the football. And that could have been Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't. Didn't happen. Wasn't meant to be, I guess, or wasn't made to be meant to be. And Rodgers and the Steelers are going home. Mike Tomlin, the other news, stepping down as the Steelers head coach. I mean, one day later, stepping down after 19 seasons. Since 1969, the Steelers have had 3 head coaches. And
Ridiculous.
yeah, Chuck Noll, 4 Super Bowls. I guess retired. I don't know if he got fired or not. I assume he just retired. Bill Cowher retired shortly after winning a Super Bowl. And of course, Mike Tomlin won a Super Bowl early. Now they have lost 7, I think they said 7 straight playoff games, but
Hey,
they weren't going to fire him. I mean, Tomlin was going to come back if he wanted to. Um, but stepping down and he's done. And it's what it is.
you
Is
think he's done
Tomlin.
done?
Oh, I don't know. It could be a situation where I mean, because he's a great talker. It could be a situation where he just goes makes easy money on in a booth somewhere or on a
Or
pregame desk at Fox or Amazon, calling a game for Amazon.
yeah, anybody can call a game for Amazon. It's not hard to improve on their stuff. So,
Yeah, well, they offered Sean McVay
or no,
$100 million.
I'm thinking about Netflix, not Amazon. So, Herb Street
Yeah,
does a fine job on Thursday night on Amazon.
yeah. Point is, he's going to have options if he wants to do that, or he could still coach. Somebody's going to hire him. It's just like John Harbaugh. Teams are lined up to interview him or have. They do the same with Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Sometimes a change of scenery is just what you need. That might be the case here. But what's he going to do? I don't know. If I'm just guessing, um, I would say probably going to
Goes to
take
Cleveland.
some time off. He's probably going to take some time off and maybe sit in a booth for a year or two. And if he gets the itch to coach again, he'll do that.
Yeah.
With the in the right situation, it would have to be the right situation. A team that can win now is set to win now, and just needs a defensive coach, a head coach, but a defensive minded head coach. That's the thing. It You can see that in the Steelers' offense. Of course, they look good defensively. They've got a good defense, and Mike Tomlin's a good defensive coach.
That's where they spent all their money.
Yeah, and just offensively, yeah, they weren't there all year. They looked really out of sync at times throughout the year. Just couldn't consistently put it together. Not even Aaron Rodgers. Of course, it's his first year with the team, etc. Um, I mean, you're kind of lucky to be 10-8 if you really think about it, including the playoff loss. But Tomlin done with the Steelers at least. Rodgers has said this is probably it. Is it it? Do you think this is it?
I do, especially with Tomlin stepping down. Like, I think that just makes it a true no-brainer to Aaron Rodgers. Like, hey, I'll take this as a sign. It's my time.
I also don't think if he were to come back, I don't think it would be with the Steelers.
No. Now, if the Vikings called him tomorrow, or hell, they might have called him today, he's probably thinking about it.
It
Most
would take
definitely thinking about it.
something. It would take something like that, I think. But
But
even then, it might be too little, too late.
this was his first season as a married man, so maybe his new wife will have some input, have something to say about him playing an additional season. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think this is it for him. I think the only situation he'd even consider it would be like what you said, if Minnesota called. But even then, it might be too little, too late. Aaron Rodgers is the type of guy that he would say, "You had your chance. You had your chance to get me. I went to Pittsburgh. I'm done." I think this is it for him. And hell of a career, obviously. Super Bowl champion, best touchdown to interception ratio, and passer rating in league history. I think 527 touchdowns is what he's thrown in his career. And yeah, where would you rank him just right off the top of your head as far as all time quarterbacks? Where would you rank him?
Man, he's close to the top five. He's
I've got him
like
top.
he's like five. He's right there on the cutoff.
I've got him top five. Who do you have ahead of him? Like
Oh,
definitively ahead of him, other than Tom Brady.
Brady. I don't know. You want to count Super Bowl rings? You can put a whole bunch of them ahead of him. Yeah, Troy Aikman. He's got what, 3 rings?
You put Troy
So, but he
Aikman
also
ahead of Aaron
no. I'm
Rodgers.
just saying if you go off of just Super Bowl rings.
Hey, Eli Manning has more Super Bowl rings.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, it was true. But you'd have to throw in Peyton. You got Brady. Ah, man. I don't know. You got old Joe Montana. And then Steve. Steve, do you put Steve Young in there?
over Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, how many Super Bowl rings does he have?
One. I mean, as a starter.
But I don't know. It's tough. That's when I said he's like right there at five. If I thought about it for longer and 30 seconds, I could definitely put four ahead of Aaron.
Well, no, it's definitely not Steve Young. I would put Brady above anybody. I would put
Baker Mayfield.
I'd put Patrick Mahomes over Aaron Rodgers. I would take. Uh, I I don't know that I think Peyton Manning is better than Aaron Rodgers. I don't know that I can definitively say that. I
I
don't
can.
know
I'll
that I
go ahead
can.
and say it for you. I'll go ahead
I
and
don't
say it
know
for
that
you.
I can definitively say that. Look at their numbers. Peyton's got two
Hey,
rings. Rodgers
you
has
get
four.
Aaron out there with a broke neck and see how many completions he can make.
What's Peyton's playoff record?
I know.
It's not good. Yeah, it's Peyton turns into a different quarterback in the playoffs. He's not the same guy.
What's Aaron's playoff record?
I don't know. It's probably not great either. Um, I'm just saying I can't definitively put Peyton Manning over Aaron Rodgers. I probably would, but I can't definitively. That's really all I can think of. I think Rodgers is as good of a passer as the league has ever seen. He's like Dan Marino caliber passer,
Well,
and yeah, like even last week in the win over Baltimore, Rodgers made one throw in particular that no, I don't think anybody else in the world can make. That's just not a good offense. That's just not a good receiving core. Like that guy last week I'm speaking of, he threw him open, which the greats do. But yeah, I think Rodgers is about as good as anybody that's ever played the game at the quarterback position.
he does have a winning record in the playoffs. He is 12-11.
Yeah, well, it's it's hard to have a winning record in the playoffs, I guess, unless you're Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. But like those are the only two I could definitively say I think it are better, just better quarterbacks than Aaron Rodgers. The rest is up to debate or up for debate. So I don't have a spot I would put him in, but he's in my top five. I'd find a spot for him in the top five no matter what. But I would not put him above those two I mentioned. But yeah, I think he's done pretty great career though, I would say. Okay, the other playoff games. Any surprises out of those? They were all really good games for the most part, except for last night.
Yeah. Um, I was generally surprised that Buffalo actually hung out and defeated the Jaguars. But I thought for sure I was about to
We're
witness
surprised.
a little bit. I mean, I thought for sure Jaguars were just going to take control there with what almost 2 minutes left. I thought that he's going to go down there and make a name for himself. And instead, on the first play, it just throws a pick. Um, that that game, I was generally surprised. wasn't shocked or anything. wasn't jaw to the floor, but I was surprised.
I was not surprised at the
Oh
outcome or
no,
just even how it happened. I mean, it was
because you picked the Bills, right?
no. I picked Jacksonville. You and I picked exactly the same, except for the Miami and Ole Miss game. You had Ole Miss. I picked Miami. I was two for
Yeah.
two on those picks. But yeah, that's the one I got wrong. That's the one that we both got wrong when it came to NFL playoff picks. We both had Jacksonville. Um, I wouldn't have been surprised if Buffalo had won, but that was my pick. I like this Jacksonville team, still do. But it's a good Buffalo team, and yeah, it
I
was a good
wasn't.
showing from them.
I will say another one that kind of surprised me. The outcome didn't, but the level of dominance did was the New England game. I expected that one to be a little bit closer than 16-3.
Yeah, it was. I didn't turn that game on till late, but it was clear dominance defensively by New England. Um, and they did well. You go over the game. I saw the score and was like, okay, that's utter dominance defensively by New England. You tell me about it because I that's all I saw was the end.
Oh, it's utter I mean, pretty much you just said it's utter dominance by the New England defense. Every time I looked up, I pretty much had it on for background noise. Every time I looked up, Herbert's just getting demolished and laying on his back on the ground. Like that, his offensive line must not like him that much because he was running for his life and didn't do a good job of it. Um, but yeah, it was just pretty much total domination by the Patriots. Everybody's like, oh, well, they hadn't really played a top 10 defense the entire season. We'll just wait and see what happens when they actually play a real defense. And they dominate them. So, and they put up some points. So, uh, yeah, watch out for New England. Surprisingly, man, those guys just can't have what 5 off years to save their life, can they?
Uh, Apparently not. I was thinking it was going to be another 20 years before they decided to, be competitive again. But here we are.
If the football gods cared at all, that's what they'd probably do. But no.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know which one was more surprising on the other half of the bracket. If it was Philadelphia, just
Well, there is a
kind
one
of
for me.
yeah, kind of doing what they've been doing the last 6 weeks. You really don't know what you're getting. Um, and yeah, they did not get the Philadelphia team that they needed for the win. Sucks that Kittle got hurt and he's out for the rest of the season. It's his Achilles. He might be out for next season as well.
Probably so.
But yeah, that sucks. But I think the best game, and it was a surprise to me, was of course the Bears pulling it out, making the comeback and beating the Packers. Probably the worst nightmare for a Packers fan. Like the Bears get to put you out of the playoffs. Congratulations. And
Yeah,
you slipped up and let a 21 point lead just evaporate.
18
Like,
points, but close enough.
yeah, still.
Yeah, 21-3 lead. Here, all right, here's the thing with me, my experience with that. I watched what I could stand of the Arkansas Auburn game Saturday basketball,
I
where
turned that one off after 5 minutes.
there's the thing. Auburn just kicked the crap out of Arkansas. And at halftime I turned it off. I just said I can't watch this anymore. It's just pissing me off. So I flip over to the Bears Green Bay game. And then all of a sudden the Packers are up 21-3 at what, the end of the first quarter?
Happened quick, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, there goes my first losing pick of the playoffs. So I'm at the girlfriend's house. I just turn off sports. I said, let's watch a movie. We watched Novocaine, the movie Novocaine. And then after that, we watched an episode of Landman. And I think we
Novocaine
might have.
good?
Oh, Landman's a great show. Love it.
No, Novocaine.
Oh, Novocaine. It's decent. It's worth watching. It's
Okay.
not great, but I mean, it's good. It's entertaining. It's certainly entertaining. I like Jack Quaid. He's good in those roles. He does a good job in that. It's worth watching, but I wouldn't watch it again or anything like that. But
Fair enough.
um, anyway, we do that. So I'm done with sports for the night. Okay. I wake up the next day. I did check into the Arkansas game from time to time. Like, well, I wouldn't flip to the game, but I would just look at it on my phone. Like, wow, they're getting beat even worse now. And so I just put the phone away when it got to 20 plus at that point. Uh, so we go to bed. I wake up the next morning around 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock or so. Excuse me. And I'm just checking my phone, and I decided to look up scores. And I was like, the Bears came back and won. So I was like, wow, I missed a great game apparently. So after the first quarter, and even then I was half paying attention because I was mad about the Arkansas game. I missed that entire comeback.
It was, yeah, it was something to witness, man. Because the whole time you're in disbelief, you're like, nah, surely it's not going to happen. Surely it's not going to happen. Oh man, if this happens, Chicago's going to be one giant party tonight. It happens.
And it happened. Yeah, I'd say I'm not surprised, but I am. I mean, I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah, yeah.
The beef between Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur is pretty comical. I don't know where that started
Me
or
neither.
yeah, or how that happened, but it's real, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about Ben Johnson doing the crouch and the way he shook his hand, LaFleur's hand after the game? What'd you think of that?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, he technically shook the guy's hand. He might have been a little bit too pumped up about it. I don't think he said any bad words during the handshake exchange, so I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think he should have taken 2 seconds to be, a little more classy
A
about it.
fraction
Just
slower, yeah.
yeah, just have a just take 2 seconds to shake the guy's hand, look him in the eye, tell him good game or whatever you want to say, and then go do whatever you want to do as far as that goes. But I
He
don't
acted like
mind
he
it.
was handshaking some blind kid's hand or something. Like, oh, he's never going to see me. Like, just gone.
Yeah, it was but even then, it's what it is. I'm fine with the rivalry between teams and coaches, as especially when it's a long time rivalry between the two teams, division
Yeah.
rival. Um, I'm good. I'm perfectly fine with beef between coaches. It's good for the league. But before we move on to college football, real quick, let's make our picks because we don't have a whole lot of time left. Let's make our picks for our playoff picks for this week. Let's just start at the top. We got the one seeds playing this week in the divisional rounds. Got the Broncos at Bills, the lowest seed remaining in the playoffs. Buffalo Bills. Who we going with?
Man, we've been hearing, all year how good Denver is. They're ahead of schedule, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, man. After the last game, I'm not going to bet against Allen. I'm going to go with the Bills.
That's the thing. Like we didn't disagree on a pick last week. We'll see if we can now, or at least this week's picks. Buffalo, Denver. The Denver defense is really good. Um, but yeah, how are you going to pick against Josh Allen, especially when it's Bo Nix on the other sideline? Not knocking Bo Nix, but
No.
still a young guy, second year quarterback, and the other guy is Josh Allen, the best quarterback. Well, arguably Stafford is. But yeah, between him and Stafford, the two surefire elite quarterbacks left in the playoffs. I'm not picking against Josh Allen either. It could be the
Especially if they
Bills'
do
time.
15-yard tush pushes. So
Yeah, that would yeah.
they're going to
Uh,
get that. They're doing their part to get that play banned because it's
yeah. I'm
so
also going
ridiculous.
Buffalo. So yeah, we're both picking Buffalo there. Next up, 2 seed again in the 5 seed. Two very good defenses going at it. We got the Patriots and Texans. Who we
Yeah,
rolling with?
I think this one's an easy one. You got to go with New England. They still have their top receivers. They've got Hunter Henry. They've got Stevenson. They've got the weapons on offense, and they have a decent defense. And I don't think Houston's going to be able to put up any points. So I think that one's going to be a very low scoring game. It's probably going to be like 10-3 or maybe 14-3, something very similar to the Chargers. Whenever New England played the Chargers this past weekend. So
I'm also going
rolling
to
with
go
New England.
Patriots. I think they can do enough offensively that Houston can't right now. Both good defenses. I think the Houston will get after Drake May, but I think New England has enough weapons offensively to make plays. Um, yeah, I'll go New England there. I like the Patriots there too. Okay, in the NFC side, got another 1 seed and 6 seed. Seahawks and 49ers division matchup.
Yeah.
I got
Man,
Seattle.
didn't yeah, I think
All
this is
right,
pretty easy one too, especially with them losing Kittle.
they're
Um,
so banged up they don't have anybody. They've got
yeah,
they've got they've got McCaffrey, which sometimes
yeah,
that's all you need. I mean, he's still Christian McCaffrey.
yeah. I still don't see it happening. It didn't
No,
happen in it didn't or no. Did San Francisco beat them in the regular season?
they didn't the last time they played, which was I think how they ended the regular season.
Oh,
Seattle celebrated in San Francisco's locker room, winning the division championship.
oh yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
and that bumped San Francisco all the way to a 6 seed, and of course gave Seattle the bye. Yeah, I've got Seattle in that just based on the fact that San Francisco is so banged up. I mean, phenomenal
Yep.
coaching job by Kyle Shanahan last week, but and McCaffrey showing he's the future Hall of Fame player he is. By the way, I looked up his stats during that game, just like his career stats, just because I was interested. Over 12,000 all-purpose yards, receiving and rushing, close to 13,000. 96 total touchdowns, rushing and receiving combined. This is
Dang.
what I think his ninth season in the league, I
It's
believe.
crazy to think he's been in it for 9 years. So,
I think it's his ninth, eighth or ninth.
yeah.
But yeah, phenomenal numbers to say the least. But okay, we both got Seattle there almost by default, just because of how banged up San Francisco is. And
Yeah.
then the other matchup got the Miracle Bears, Chicago, playing host to the LA Rams. Stafford, of course, the other great quarterback, left. Caleb Williams will be a future one, in my opinion. But can he do enough now?
Now I don't know. I think now he'd need a little bit of help from LA. But LA about messed around and screwed the pooch this past weekend. They about lost to Carolina, a sub 500 team. They flirted around with it pretty dang good. They did everything but take them home. Uh, but yeah, I I think LA is going to get up quite a bit more than 18 points before Chicago does their MO and kicks it into gear in the second half and does the comeback win. I think the gap's just going to be too big by the third quarter. I don't see the Bears winning that one, but if they do, more power to them. I'd love to see it.
I would too. Just it's fun to see new teams come up
Yes.
and just make their mark on the league or make a run. It's fun to do that. It's fun to see newer teams do that, not necessarily the same old, same old. I like Patrick Mahomes, but it's kind of nice to see them not in the playoffs. Um, Eagles are done. It's some we're gonna have a new Super Bowl champion, so it's kind of exciting to see that. If you don't have a team like us, really, uh, if I'm putting money on it, yeah, I'm picking the Rams. I'm not betting against Stafford, Puka Nakua, and company. I'm taking those guys. Um, I like the Bears. I think this is a team on the rise, but this is year two under Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. There, or no, year one under Ben Johnson. Excuse me. They're going to get there, but not yet. Not through Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nakua, and these Rams. I don't see it happening. I also got the Rams in that. So us agreeing again. Of course, we did pretty well last week. We're 5 of our 6 picks were correct. So that's pretty good. No need to disagree there then. That's who we got for the NFL playoffs. Now, the national championship game is next Monday. So by the time we have our next episode, we're going to have a national champion. It's Indiana Miami. That was the matchup I picked. You had Ole Miss beating Miami. Of course, it was close. They had a
They about
shot.
screwed around and let it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miami completely dominated that game in the first half. Dropped 3 picks that hit them right in the hands and chest. And Ole Miss was just close enough to almost win it at the end. So, yeah. Score does not truly reflect that game, but yeah, they about pulled it out.
Yeah, but Miami got it done. But Indiana really got it done. They dominated. It was just belt to cheeks from start to, from the kickoff, basically. Of course, Oregon scored the first drive, and it was all Indiana after that.
It
It was
was
the
great
same.
to see that domination, but man, what a boring game.
I couldn't get enough of it. I've become an Indiana fan. I could not get
I
enough
like
of it.
watching it.
Mendoza made every throw. His receivers caught balls that they even probably shouldn't have. Um,
Yeah.
just, I mean, they've got strong hands. They don't drop anything. Mendoza makes every throw. The receivers don't drop anything. Uh, they're it's rare when there's a penalty. They had that one false start to start the second half, and you could just see Signetti's face, how irritated he was. Um, More so than usual, how he looks. I mean, they just demand excellence. They demand close to perfection performance wise and doing your job. And that's what they have. They're 15 and 0, they're perfect, and I think they'll be 16 and 0 after next Monday. I've got Indiana beating Miami, and I think it's probably going to be I don't think it's going to be very close. I think Indiana will win by 17.
Yeah, yeah. I think surely it's a double digit spread in Vegas. I don't see any way possible Miami keeps this close. Yeah, man, especially if Mendoza keeps hitting those small windows like he was doing during the last game. I mean, it was fun to watch because man, he was making some truly incredible throws. But yeah, I don't see any way possible Miami keeps this close. I'm saying at least a two possession win
I will
by
say I
Indiana.
was thinking of the score in my head. I said 17. I'll stick with that. I'll say 38-21 Hoosiers. 16 and 0, first 16 and 0 season,
With
at least in the modern era. Uh, yeah, national champions. I'll say 38-21 Indiana, 16 and 0 season, and they're here to stay.
I could agree with the 38-21. And I'll add that Miami makes like they score like a late fourth quarter touchdown just to make it look better on paper.
And that's what I think will happen. I think they'll score and they'll make it that score, 38-21. I think it's going to be more dominance from Indiana. I like Miami as far as the type of team they are. I mean, as far as being competitive and can they win it? Sure. But this Indiana team is a perfect team. Their
Yes.
record reflects that and their performance reflects that. I don't see anybody in the country that can beat them.
They're so good, people are starting to say they're cheating.
Well, they're getting comped to the great teams now, and
Yeah.
as they should. I mean, they're about to go 16 and 0. But yeah, I've got Indiana comfortably. Sounds like you do too. So yeah, congrats Hoosiers on the national championship.
Go ahead and hang
First
the
in school
banner.
history. Yeah, go ahead. 16 and 0. Uh, you heard it here first, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, we're pretty much out of time. What's next, sports wise? Arkansas plays South Carolina tomorrow night. I think it's an 8 o'clock tip off. I don't know. I'll have to double check that. But that's all that's coming up. We'll see y'all next week. There'll be plenty to talk about next week. But until then, I'm Grandpal.
Brother Brown.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace.